cigarette salad days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then before that was You're Trippin' by the Queers, and we started that set off with TSOL, Superficial Love. Superficial Love. That's what I have for Hillary Clinton. Superficial Love.
That's disgusting. So
That
yeah,
was that was a fun debate, wasn't it?
um, yeah,
It's great.
the
It's
the
great when they
Hillary
come
Trump
right out
debate
lying.
was just wow, man, just wow. It was great. The one thing I like posted on Facebook, I just said this is actually happening in America, and that post, like, that was it. Everyone knew exactly what I was talking about, why I said it, because it's like, here's my take on kind of overall, and we can talk in more detail, but like, to me, the vice presidential debate reminded me of the debates we've always seen before, and you had to listen to them carefully and see their bullshit and what's motivating their respective bullshits. But with Hillary and Donald, it was like, a monkey throwing shit and, screaming freaking Gigi Allen lyrics at people and fucking, and then Hillary, who we know, a lot of people are going to die if she's president. We kind of know that because she likes to bomb shit, and she has friends in the military-industrial complex. So,
Well, that's that. Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. We are bombing shit now.
all right,
We're bombing shit now.
Yeah.
We're selling weapons to both sides of the shit we're bombing. So nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change. We're
That's
bombing
why
shit now. We're deporting undocumented immigrants faster than you can blink an eye at. I mean, they call Obama the deporter in chief. How many more undocumented immigrants are we going to deport? I mean, it's all just fucking bullshit talking points. I mean, oh my God! In the debate, they brought up the damn Roe versus Wade and the abortion issue, and it's like, really, you motherfuckers, really? And I heard one of the pundits talk about it. I don't know if it was Tom Hartman or one of the guys on TYT, but they said that a lot of voters are very uninformed, and so they're one policy voters. And on the right, it could be abortion, and on the left, it could be climate change. But they're one policy, one issue voters. I had a feeling that would come up. And you know what? It comes up every fucking cycle. If you look at it, every 4 years, they bring it up. And what happens? Not a damn thing. They're not changing it. It's not going away. You're not making us pay for the fucking funerals of aborted babies. Okay? We're not punishing women for having abortions. It's not fucking happening. Anyway, okay, I'll step down now.
Well, so I mean, but that was that's the traditional kind of topic, that debate. That's what I'm saying. That's what the vice presidential debate was. It could have been.
Did you see the one part where she asked him the question about North Korea, and they went all over the damn place. They went taxes,
right?
And she's like, okay, it's back to you. It's back to you, Governor Pence. She said, but the question's about it was about North Korea. And they all just kind of looked at her and smiled. Yeah, that was good. They were talking about North Korea.
But, I mean, I'll say easily that, without question, Tim Kaine kicked his ass.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The way he came off smug, I think. But I also think he came off like, nah. Kind of like Hillary did. I know my shit.
Well, but that was okay. But look, bro, this is what both of them did. This is what Tim Kaine did. And this is what Hillary did, as they went. Both of these guys are fucking buffoons. Okay, now look, Tim Kaine arguably had the more difficult job of the two. Hillary's job was much easier.
Why do you say that?
Because
he's more of a buffoon than Pence? He's kind of a buffoon, and Pence is a little more serious?
Pence he has political experience, bro. He knows how to do this. He's debated before.
They both do. One's a senator, one's a governor.
No, I'm saying that Tim Kaine had an easier job than or a harder job than Hillary Clinton did.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. Right. I definitely agree with that. Okay, yes.
So, but both of them basically had to do kind of the same thing. They know, especially in Hillary's case, the guy that I'm debating. Okay, let's just look at Hillary first. The guy I'm debating is an absolute buffoon who literally doesn't know anything. Okay. I just need to come out, be cool. I don't have to get too cheap. I'll take my jabs at him here and there, but mostly I'm just going to stick right with some very specific facts.
Well, she hit him. She hit him with his own words. She kept hitting him with his own words all night long, and then she finally slammed on him with what was that? Alicia Machado girl? Is that her
Oh,
name?
she annihilated him with that. And what did he have? Well, I could be the guy that doesn't say some stuff when I'm saying stuff about stuff because I'm a good guy, so I'm not going to say stuff that would be tremendous and
About
annihilate
Bill.
you. Right, whatever.
Well, he didn't even. That came out after, and it's
That
like,
was
well, then,
that was his
if you're
bullshit.
patting yourself on the back for not saying it, why the fuck are you saying it? You're saying
listen,
it.
I'll tell you why he said it. That was his sad attempt at the same type of tactic that Hillary used when she brought out the Machado person, because she had full intention of. She knew 100% that was a coordinated thing where she was going to push the Machado story in the press.
For sure.
Talk about it at the debate and link the two. His attempt at it was, I could say stuff that would be tremendous that you wouldn't know about, that things would kill, and we'd be winning with all the people that die. Whatever nonsense that he says. And that's his attempt at doing kind of the same thing, because he knows that he's going to say some nasty-ass shit about Bill. But he can't, because then it comes out and he talks about Machado being in a porn when he was in a porn. So he's a moron.
Well, it's apples and oranges, too. I mean, Bill is not running for president.
Right.
Why is... And now they're slamming... Now you got Giuliani, oh my God, of all people, slamming on Hillary for standing by Bill when that happened. And do we need to get into the discussion of how Rudy Giuliani broke up with one of his wives?
No, I don't even want to. Just fuck Giuliani. And listen, basically, that's the only guy that they had that really came out and tried to push the thing that it was Hillary's fault because she was critical of Monica Lewinsky. And so what? I don't want to get into that. I don't give a fuck about that, dude. I didn't give a fuck about it then, and I don't give a fuck about it now. And, you know,
right,
JFK is one of my favorite presidents, and he fucked all kinds of people in the office.
Let's blame Hillary for the indiscretions of her husband.
Well, it didn't take.
It's apples and oranges. No, it didn't take. And it's
here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line, dude. Last I heard, today, no. Yeah, this morning. Roughly 5 points ahead. Roughly, she's 5.
I think I heard that too. You know, if he would have stuck to what he was doing in the beginning of that debate, he would have been fine. Because he slammed her on being in government for 30 years. You know, her experience, I have experience, and she doesn't, and he doesn't. And it's true, she's got experience. What the fuck have you done for 30 years?
Well, he's
what have you done?
Stupid.
No, that was a good point to hit her with.
Well, I'm saying he's incredibly stupid because he doesn't even know. He should have doubled
down on it, and he didn't.
But he doesn't know. Like, he doesn't know that it was effective.
Because he didn't have a supporters there clapping and cheering for him.
Because he's just babbling shit out of his fucking noggin. You know, but see now look, Tim Kaine had a different adversary, man. And I'm not trying to, you know, I might sound like I'm being complimentary of Mike Pence. I'm not.
But they both did what they were supposed to do. They both attacked the other's running mate. So Kaine was attacking Trump, and Pence was attacking Hillary.
And obviously, the thing is, Tim Kaine's attacks are going to be much more effective because Donald Trump is such a buffoon. And I think that he really
his strategy,
did an excellent job of annihilating fucking Mike Pence on. I don't see how you can justify this. I don't see how you can justify that. Tim Kaine would rattle off a bunch of things that quotes, straight up quotes from Donald Trump, and then Mike Pence come back and goes, okay, if you're gonna, call, insults. You're using insults, and that's
No, he said I'm using facts, and he said, I'll go through each one of them. And the thing is, he couldn't defend. No, and I like Tim Kaine's strategy. Whoever thought it up came up and said, get him to defend the stance of his running mate. Defend Donald
and say tax returns
and right. And what was Pence supposed to? Pence was supposed to say Benghazi and the Clinton Foundation, and he brought up the Clinton Foundation, and then Kaine pivoted to the Trump Foundation,
which he has much better. And the way Kaine was able to, within his 2 minutes, hold up. Here's this description of the Clinton Foundation, and here's the description of the Trump Foundation. And
right.
It was like just polar.
And didn't even hit him with the fact that Trump hasn't put anything in it since 2008.
Right.
And he's been basically laundering money through it and paying himself. Oh, and he said it's only been used for charitable needs. They've only given that money and done charitable things with it. Oh, right, like
he said the painting. The
Yeah, like the
20-foot
painting.
painting.
What about the like the Trump painting? What
Yeah.
about the Tim Tebow football? Come
Helmet.
on,
The
you
helmet.
fucking the helmet. You lying sack of shit.
And and then you watch Pence, and then every time that like Tim Kaine would say something about Trump that was factual, Penis would like his eye would get all super squinty, and he'd get that like
Somebody
oh
tweeted.
whatever look on, and kind of shake his head like we all know that's not true, because we all know also that Trump went later and contradicted himself on it, and also because like the media and stuff, because I know he totally said that word for word, but dude, the media, the way they twist things, like what he just said, that thing word for word, but the media twisted it, like,
Well,
and
they
that's
twist the meaning.
because he's shaking his head, Mike Pence, while Tim Kaine is rattling off facts about Trump. He's shaking his head in that way of like, oh, come on. We all know. We already all know that that's bullshit. And I'm just going, no, it's not, dude. It's not bullshit. And you know how I know it's not bullshit? Because I heard Trump say that shit. It's not like I heard Jimmy Dore make a joke about it. That's why I think I know something. It's because I heard
Bill
Trump
Maher
say the
talk
shit.
about it Friday night.
Right. Bill Maher said something,
I heard it on the Channel 5 news. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, we can talk. I had to work with a friend of mine yesterday who's a Trump supporter. I knew he was, and we didn't talk about it a whole lot, but the homeowner whose house we were working at was also a Trump supporter, so I tried to school them a little teeny bit, but in the nicest, kindest, gentlest way I possibly could. Just let them know, lost almost $1 billion in 1 year, and hasn't paid taxes in almost 20 years, and
he's supposed to be a genius. He's supposed to be a genius for that.
Well, he knows the shit, and he knows the tax laws better than anybody, because he knows how to manipulate them. So he knows better than anybody. So obviously he can fix them. Okay,
also, Mike,
how are you going to fix them?
Mike, he didn't know that you could get the 20-year don't pay your tax deal. That was an accountant that fucking told him that he could do that.
No fucking shit.
And that came out.
So let's talk about
speculation.
this for a second.
It came out, accountant said, all right, look, you lost $900 million, but if you do this thing, you can fucking
don't have to
pay your fucking income taxes for 20 years.
Well, exactly. He doesn't know that shit. But one, he hasn't come up with a plan to change it. I haven't seen you say how you're going to change it. The only thing I've seen are tax cuts for the rich. I also see that means, and this is what I told these guys, a $3 trillion deficit. Now, Clinton's only got a $200 billion deficit. Whatever. Yeah, well, let me tell you, man. I saw this this interview. The whole fucking show on Democracy Now! Today was about this tax deal with Trump. They talked to, the guy's name is David. I'm going to have to look up his last name. But he was the reporter, the head of the team that received this tax document and researched it. Called the guy, went to the accountant's office, knocked on his door and talked to him to authenticate it. And said, and talked to the guy. Said, yeah, I did that. And check this out. That year was the last year that guy did the taxes for Trump. After that, Trump got a new tax guy. Anyway, now the other guy that was on this panel, these two other there was David K. Johnson, that guy that wrote the book about Trump.
So it's the two Pulitzer Prize winning guys? Is it
exactly. Yes,
yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I watched that too.
That was awesome. Now
yes,
I put on the one reason they
playlist.
I don't know if I can. One of the things I did was I did tweet and Facebook the article that David K. Johnson wrote for the Daily Beast. And it's called, God, I'm not going to remember what it's called now. What's his book called? Oh, it's called The Art of the Deal. The title of it was called The Art of the Steal.
Oh, okay.
So fascinating. Just talked about, and David K. Johnson knows him. He followed him around, helping him write that book.
Right.
And he talked to him about this. And he talks about this on this interview. Try to defend this guy. Defend that. And Kaine hit him over and over, and to a point where Mike's like, yeah, you're going to bring up the taxes again. Yeah, he's going to bring up the taxes again, you piss slit. Well, that's absolutely what he's going to do.
Tim Kaine the way he talked about community policing and stuff, obviously that was nice to hear. I mean, you can question because he's got Hillary at the top. And then I found it interesting that Pence agreed with him that community policing would be a better way go about what we're doing, and like Pence obviously glossed over the whole thing with the stop and frisk and tried to act like that's not what Trump wants. Oh, everybody knows that's not what
he
Trump
glossed
wants.
over
It's just
everything.
what he said. It's just what he said.
He didn't. He also, Trump never said he wanted to let other countries have nuclear weapons.
Right. Of course not. Oh, come on. He did.
That's not what he said.
That's not what he said. Yes, he did. At one point, what did Tim Kaine say? Is this a seriously, let's just check the video moment or what? Like something he's
So, do we have any more we want to talk about the debates, or should we play some music?
I guess not. I mean, look, I think...
Other tn that fucking Saturday Night Live sketch that they opened up with on Saturday. That was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That was great. Well, I was just going to say this, dude. Like, if that's right, if she's 5 points ahead, barring October surprise, and it's October, so who knows if we're going to get an October surprise this cycle or not.
Well, now there was some guy that was tweeting that there was going to be a big October surprise tomorrow. Hillary Clinton's campaign is going to be over tomorrow.
Really?
But there was that WikiLeaks. Remember, Assange said he was gonna leak some more shit out. But apparently, what he let out today wasn't the fucking blowhole they were looking for, I guess. But he's also said he's going to put out more stuff before the election. That's well, before the election's over and before the end of the year as well. So, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, you can play some fucking music. Fuck these fucking people. I'll tell you this, though, man. After listening to Donald, after listening to Mike Pence, I got to be fully straight with you, bro. I get it. I'm down. They won me over, bro. I mean, I didn't think...
When exactly did Richard hang himself?
I believe it was just the other day.
Oh. I was just wondering. That was DI. What does DI stand for?
Doggy intercourse, I believe.
Dead Indians?
I don't know. No, I always heard it was doggy intercourse, and if that's right, that's a stupid as fuck name. But DI is rad.
Before that was Drinking Song by the Gits.
And they're not Drunk Engines, because that's another band. But that would be DI. But that's drunk.
And then we started that set off with On a Turntable by the Interrupters. Hey, man, check it out. My daughter found this bitchin' little record store in Ontario, and we walked in there, and they've got a whole room with dollar records, albums, and CDs, and we didn't find shit in there. I did find a Jam CD, but it didn't look like a very good one. I should have hung on to it, or at least took a picture. But anyway, the dude's got a room, and he's got really cool albums that I took some pictures of. Maybe I'll put them up on the show.
Okay.
As well as some of the art that we got, guys. Dude, we got art. We got some art.
More art?
I've got some art from Margaret Ann, and then I've got some art from Leanna, my friend Leanna.
Cool.
Yeah. So, anyways.
So submit your art.
Hey,
We'll put it in our show.
Yeah.
That's going to be very racist now. By the way, we have David Duke is going to be checking in with us. We're going to be talking with David Duke today because we're down with Trump and Mike Pence because their arguments, come on, bro, super convincing. Super convincing. I get it now, right? Like,
the
how
only
can you not
reason
watch those debates?
I could ever do this would be to watch the destruction so I could go to Doodle McNoodle and fucking Howdy Doody and say, told you so. I fucking told you so.
Play your fiddle while
Yeah.
Roberts. Yeah.
Well, but that's okay. You know why? They have guns.
They have guns.
They have guns, and they will protect. Well, they're not going to protect me because I don't give a shit. And you know how these Second Amendment nuts are.
Well, they have guns.
If you don't believe, yeah, they're not going to protect you. They're not going to protect. They're only going to So I mean, I'm SOL.
Okay, so let's get this straight.
Even though you got a bigger chance of fucking shooting somebody in your family or shooting yourself.
No,
But
check it
anyway,
out. No,
go
come on, Mike. No, let's. Okay, so
All right, get me started.
according to the right, according to people who love their guns, okay, why is it important for them to have their guns? What's their argument?
To be able to defend themselves against a corrupt government.
And
Second
other
Amendment.
and home intruders and stuff, right?
Right.
Because that's what the Second Amendment says.
Well, the
right?
Second Amendment says that we should have a well-regulated militia.
Being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Right.
What does that mean?
That means that I can keep and bear my arms.
But for the purposes of a well-regulated militia, you can keep it bear.
Which means I get to fight back against a corrupt government.
Is that what it means? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't say that.
Well, then what does it say? Educate me.
Well,
isn't that all the Second Amendment says? That's
it. All. That's the Second Amendment. But so what is they talking about? This militia? What's the militia? The militia is all the guys that
militia's a police force, isn't it? It's guys that
militia's those guys that roll around in the dirt with their buddies and pretend that they don't actually want to do gay shit together, and get really drunk and shoot guns and talk about how Obama's a fascist, Nazi, communist, Muslim. Right? That's a militia, and they train and they roll around in the dirt and shoot shit. And we're a militia, right?
No. A militia's like the police force. Like back in the 1700s, late 1700s, we didn't have police forces.
Oh.
So yeah, you had to have a gun. You had to have your little musket guns to defend yourself.
So you'd think that the Constitution would have something in it that would describe what the militia is, if that were the case, right? Wouldn't you think that the Constitution would have something in there that would say specifically kind of what you're saying?
Yeah,
well, what do you know, bro?
They would probably just Google it. Wouldn't they just Google it?
It does. It's in Article 1 of the Constitution.
Wait. Article 1, doesn't that come before an amendment?
Yeah.
So the Article
Article 1 is what lays out how all the duties
Okay. Well, that would make sense. All right, so it lays it out, and then the amendment says, well, no. Then we need a gun. We need our guns. All right, well, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk to me.
So the Article 1 says what I'm going to read a little bit of what precedes it so it gives you the proper context to understand what it's saying about the militia as well. And it'll be very plainly clear to anybody who listens. So, job of Congress
Okay, I'm listening, so make it plainly clear.
No, I can't.
Come on.
Not for you,
You know my intelligent level. Come on.
So
plainly clear.
Okay, so Congress to raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for longer than 2 years. To provide and maintain a navy. To make rules for the government and regulation of the land and naval forces. Also, to provide for calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union and suppress insurrections and repel invasions. So, that's what the way the Constitution views what a militia is.
Okay.
A militia is a police force that protects us from outside
I told you police force.
Yeah.
Okay.
To execute the laws of the Union, the purpose of a militia, according to Article 1 of the Constitution, Article 1 of the Constitution gives Congress the power to create a militia that will execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. Now, here's what's interesting, all you people who think that your gun is all about, protecting you from the government. My understanding of any type of military force or police force is someone has to be in charge of it, right, Mike? Wouldn't you have to have someone in charge to kind of give the orders and have, keep things rolling along? And
that's usually how it rolls. Shit rolls downhill, right?
It's downhill. Every police force has its higher.
Right.
So who would be in charge of the militia? Well, the Constitution makes that clear as well. And it's in Article 2. You know what Article 2 is all about, bro?
No.
The president.
Yeah.
So Article 2, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution in relation to militias has this to say. The president shall be commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states when called into the actual service of the United States. He may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective offices. So,
Well, basically, what he's saying is, so like if you mobilize the police force to come, say we're being invaded by the British again, and our army is so depleted because we don't spend any money on it at all, that we have to call in the police force to come and help us out.
right. And obviously we don't need that anymore because we have
That would never happen.
We have a massively bloated police
They
force.
fucking call the National Guard in to help the police force when shit
Well,
goes down.
but you also got to understand that's what the National Guard was. The militia. The militia became the National Guard.
Oh, well, look at that.
So there is no need for a militia. And so sorry guys, guess what? You're fucking absolutely wrong. And if you want to get on and tell me that I'm putting spin on it, or I'm some fucking bleeding heart fucking liberal who hates guns and wants to take your guns away, well, fuck off, because I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. This isn't about whether you should have a right to a gun or whether it makes you a man. I don't care about any of that shit. Your arguments are fucking bogus bullshit. If you think that your right constitutionally to own a gun is about protecting your home or about fucking protecting yourself from the government, you're fucking wrong. You're
And
wrong.
what is it about?
It's about fucking being ready and raring to go if your fucking government needs you to enforce the laws of the land or to protect other American citizens from an outside invading force. That's specifically what it said. That's not interpretation.
Then why do we have such a proliferation of guns in this country?
I don't know, Michael. It cannot be because of the NRA.
Well, I would say the NRA would be a result of the problem.
Well, here's the thing, Mike. Okay, so the gun manufacturers, the NRA, dude, used to be, like, when it started, it was kind of actually like a righteous thing. Like, it taught gun safety. Like, to get your NRA membership, you had to go through a process, and you had to be a responsible, educated, well-informed gun owner, right? And you would learn, like I said, not just how to handle the gun, but proper procedures and safety. And that was a big part of what the NRA was, right? And that would be an NRA that I wouldn't have a fucking problem with. And you know what? I mean, basic reading of the Constitution as I did, as opposed to weird interpretations of it that are now commonplace, that argument aside, like, is the NRA has been co-opted by the gun manufacturers. And now it's just a lobbying tool to keep the assembly line of gun manufacturing chugging along day in and day out. That's what it is now. It doesn't have anything to do with protecting your Second Amendment rights. It's perverted the Second Amendment.
Well, absolutely. No, that's where I wanted to go with this. Was the gun manufacturers? That's what's doing this. It's been oh my God, the gun industry's been corrupt from the 1800s. So we're selling weapons to both sides. Fucking look, even the Republican Jesus sold weapons to Iran.
Right. Yes, he did.
To fund the Contras. We sell weapons to both sides of Syria. No, this guy I was having a little chit-chat with on Facebook today, I told him he was a pawn of the gun industry, and he basically is. The whole thing was about gun control not working. And a family member said exactly, and that's how I got caught up on this. And then the guy that posted it, I said, actually it does, but who cares about facts? And he was like, well, for every one location you show me it's working, I'll show you 10 that it doesn't. Free to test me on it. I said, Australia, Russia, Argentina, Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Chicago, Washington, D.C., the United Kingdom. They have stumped gun violence, but all other crimes are up due to lack of protection. Syria, Afghanistan. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. I'm like, highly doubtful. That's right. That's your right not to believe. As is yours. Your list is flawed, bro. Syria, really? It's a little difficult to assess when you have the U.S. selling weapons to both sides. You said gun control works. I say it doesn't. Learn the laws and what's happening in those areas and get back to me. All the areas that I've mentioned, this is that dude, have strict gun control laws, and all those areas people have guns illegally kill those who are law-abiding and don't have any ways to defend themselves. That's totally not true. Including those 2 areas in the U.S. I listed. I said the guns in Chicago come from Indiana, which has no gun control laws because
there's a penis that lives there, right?
There's a penis that runs Indiana.
Oh.
There's a little gray penis in charge of Indiana. Yeah. I said, because guns are smuggled across the border, bro. He said, it goes to show that the criminals don't follow the laws, which leaves law-abiding citizens without protection. I don't understand that. Guns don't smuggle themselves. Criminals do. Criminals don't follow the laws, which shows that the gun control laws aren't working. Who are these criminals, I said? Bad guys? When you limit access, the so-called bad guys have less access. You're a pawn of the gun industry, bro. It's cool. Police state is right around the corner. Some of the countries I listed above are police states with strict gun control, and it still isn't working. The assault weapons ban enacted by Reagan worked well until Bush tossed it out. Now we have mass shootings almost daily. Dude, if you limit access, less people have access. Look at Texas.
Well, I can buy into that argument. I can buy that argument, bro. Well, let me stop you because, listen, I think there's some legitimacy in that. So, on the one side of it, I get the argument of make the guns illegal, only criminals will have guns. Okay, I think there's some truth to that. That's why that phrase sticks for so long. There is some truth to that. But if you have a hell of a lot less guns, then there's less guns for the criminals to have. So that means the criminals will have less guns. It's kind of like if you take, I don't know, a square thing and try and jam it in a round hole, it won't work. You know? But if you put it in a square hole, it works. And to me, if there's less guns, that makes me believe that there's probably less guns.
Which is what I was trying to say.
I mean, I think that.
So that means
I think you can logically
and come on, United Kingdom, no.
Less guns.
I'm not buying it. Yeah, I'm not buying it. And Afghanistan and Syria, you're fucking kidding me, right?
Because all of a sudden,
those are our weapons that they have.
So
those are our weapons.
Lockheed Martin or Smith & Wesson is just going to start mass producing guns and selling them to criminals on the street, and all of a sudden all the criminals will have massive amounts of guns. Well, guess what? That would make Smith & Wesson criminals also, and then you just put them in jail, and then they don't get to sell the fuck. You know, it's just bullshit. Okay, whoa, alert.
People don't kill people.
Tinfoil.
Don't kill.
Alert. I am of the impression that the powers that be, the Bilderberg, the 1%, the elite, right? The ones that either are working for Hillary against Trump or with Trump against Hillary or with them both, but whatever, those people, I think they want us all to have guns. You and I have talked about this before.
We have. And I tend to believe this too.
And that they are simultaneously arming us as citizens with our fucking pea shooters because they're not drones, aircraft carriers, tanks, fighter jets, and nuclear weapons. Okay? They're arsenals with big fancy clips in them. High magazine clips. Okay? Which are worthless against a drone. But anyway, so they're mass arming the populace with our pea shooters while simultaneously massively militarizing our police force, right?
Yes. And it's getting, and look what's happening.
And I am, my tinfoil hat is growing. Like when Pinocchio lies and his nose gets bigger, when my conspiracy theory gets more in depth, my tinfoil hat grows. So now it's embracing FEMA camps, my conspiracy theory, okay? Because that's the thing. Armed confrontation on the street, revolution, Black Lives Matter is a part of it. And I think it's like a pockets of revolutions that will be kind of ultimately ineffectual in and of themselves. They won't be a cohesive rising rebellion against the man, and then they initiate their police state and lock us in the camps. And so go buy your guns, dude.
Look what's going on. We have cops shooting everybody at the flick of a switch. They don't have to be shot at. All they have to have something pointed at them. It can be a fucking vape machine. It could be a toy gun. It can be a toy truck. It could be a fire truck. It doesn't matter. You point something at the cops, and they're going to shoot you because they think everybody has guns. Now, I saw a video recently of all these cops pulling these people over and them getting out and shooting cops. It happens. It happens all the time. You know why? Because everybody's got a motherfucking gun. So, if everybody's got a gun, you got to have a gun to protect yourself from the people that have the guns. The police have the guns. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of pulling you over because you have a gun. So they're going to fucking get their bigger gun out to try to shoot you. Everybody's got guns. Fucking police state. We have to give up our rights. You have to, there's bad guys. These so-called bad guys are out there with guns. You got to look out for the bad guys. So go ahead and give up your right to freedom so you can live in a police state, and we will protect you from these so-called bad guys. But you have to, it's a police state.
But hey, Mike.
You can't leave your house.
Of course, it was
Hillary.
Lock down. Of course, it was Hillary in the debate who said we have to take the guns away, right? That was Hillary who said that, right? Of course, it must have been Hillary, right?
No, it was that orange Cheeto that said they have to take the guns away from the bad guys.
Interesting.
Who are these bad guys? I want to know.
I'm suspecting that they're brown. I'm suspecting there's a lot of brown in there.
It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter if you're brown. It doesn't matter if you're dark brown. It doesn't matter if you're yellow. It doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're fucking green. It doesn't matter if you're purple.
Poor. If you're poor, it matters. That's what you are. Poor. And Donald Trump would like to take your
1%.
Would like to take your guns away. Donald Trump said it. He said it. You got to take the guns away.
Well, you got to figure out who the bad guys are.
And they're brown.
What makes you a bad guy?
Being
Just
brown.
the color of your skin?
And poor.
What if you smoke pot?
Well, it's okay if you smoke pot and like Donald Trump. I mean, I think that's the thing I think people miss about Donald Trump. I wouldn't say he's a bigot. I would say he's a maybe even a solipsist. Do you know what a solipsist is, Michael?
I don't.
Solipsism is the condition under which you believe the entire world is your own personal fantasy. And there's people who suffer from this. And I think everybody kind of goes through a moment of that, like during their formative puberty years or wherever, where you wonder, like, is this all imagination? Is this all a dream? Is this all my dream? Right? And so there's some very deep philosophical discussions that go into that. But like, so Donald Trump just doesn't like, he just, everyone is not as good as him. There's Donald Trump, and then there's everybody else. And everybody else
Donald Trump and his
sucks.
family and everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even they suck unless he wants to fuck one of them.
We were talking about gun control. How did we get on that?
Because fucking Donald Trump said he wants to take guns away. And what did the NRA, just imagine if Hillary had said the same exact thing. He said the NRA would have lost its fucking ever-loving shit.
Lost their mind.
The NRA is still running fucking ads on YouTube, dude, that says that Hillary Clinton is purposefully, I'm not going to get the wording right, but it's like very specifically states that she's coming to take your guns away. And that's what she wants, and everyone knows that's what she wants, and she's made it clear that that's what she wants.
I thought Obama was taking our guns away.
He did. We just didn't notice it because when he did, he forgot. Like, he came over to take your guns. He literally came in your house, got in your gun cabinet, and was like, I got all the guns. And then...
Well, I don't have a gun cabinet, and I don't have a gun. Maybe that's why he took them.
Oh, he took your guns.
Maybe that's why.
He took all the guns you didn't have. So, yeah, I just thought that was really... And listen, man, that was like... I'd always understood that the Second Amendment did not say anything about protecting yourself or your home or your ability to rise up against the government. Right? They're conflating other things. They're conflating like a Jefferson's statement about the blood tree of patriots, and every so often you have revolution and all that stuff with Jefferson, and then but the Constitution has a thing in it that talks about revolution, and you do it through amendments. And that's what Jank always talks about, and I'm with Jank on that, dude. You got to support that wolf-pack.com, dude, because that's a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics. All the stuff that we talk about and that's wrong with our system on the left and in the right all stems back to the money that's involved.
And nobody believes it.
And if we can get that money out of the way, there's still some very significant problems. There's still some very significant problems once we get the money out. Once we get the money out of the way, that we'll have to deal with. But we got to get it out of the way first, otherwise it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and we're going to fucking not be able to play punk rock songs when we want to anymore. I don't like that.
I want to revisit some songs, change the mood a little bit. You down?
Of course not.
You down? Let's mellow it out a little bit.
Is it David Duke friendly? Because I'm down with Mike Pence now. He won me tonight, bro.
Really?
You know why?
Duke,
because
Mike
Pence, because his eyes got so beady, and the way he smiled when he shook his head and pretended that all those things that Tim Kaine, factual things that he was saying, were not factual. I was like, I'm in, dude. I'm in.
He needs to listen to this next song. This is The Poverty Philosophy by Immortal Technique.
Most of my Latino and black people who are struggling to get food, clothes, and shelter in the hood are so concerned with that philosophizing about freedom and socialist democracy is usually, unfortunately, beyond their rationale. They don't realize that America can't exist without separating them from their identity. Because if we had some sense of who we really are, there's no way in hell we'd allow this country to push its genocidal consensus on our homelands. This ignorance exists, but it can be destroyed. Niggas talk about change and working within the system to achieve that. The problem with always being a conformist is that when you try to change the system from within, it's not you who changes the system, it's the system that will eventually change you. There is usually nothing wrong with compromising a situation, but compromising yourself in a situation is another story completely. And I have seen this happen long enough in the few years that I've been alive to know that it's a serious problem. Latino America is a huge colony of countries whose presidents are cowards in the face of economic imperialism. You see, third world countries are rich places, abundant in resources, and many of these countries have the capacity to feed their starving people and the children we always see digging for food and trash on commercials. But plutocracies, in other words, a government run by the rich, such as this one, and traditionally oppressive European states, force the third world into buying overpriced, unnecessary goods while exporting huge portions of their natural resources. I'm quite sure that people will look upon my attitude and sentiments and look for hypocrisy and hatred in my words. But my revolution is born out of love for my people, not hatred for others. You see, most of Latinos are here because of the great inflation that was caused by American companies in Latin America. Aside from that, many are seeking a life away from the puppet democracies that were funded by the United States. Places like El Salvador, Guatemala, Peru, Colombia, Nicaragua, Ecuador, and la República Dominicana. And not just Spanish-speaking countries either, but Haiti and Jamaica as well. As different as we have been taught to look at each other by colonial society, we are in the same struggle. And until we realize that, we'll be fighting for scraps from the table of a system that has kept us subservient instead of being self-determined. And that's why we have no control over when the embargo will stop in Cuba or when the bombs will stop dropping in Vieques. But you see, here in America, the attitude that is fed to us is that outside of America, there live lesser people. Fuck them, let them fend for themselves. No, fuck you. They are you. No matter how much you want to dye your hair blonde and put fake eyes in, or follow an anorexic standard of beauty, or no matter how many diamonds you buy from people who exploit your own brutally to get them, no matter what kind of car you drive, or what kind of fancy clothes you put on, you will never be them. They're always gonna look at you as nothing but a little monkey. I'd rather be proud of what I am rather than desperately try to be something I'm really not, just to fit in. And whether we want to accept it or not, that's what this culture or lack of culture is feeding us. I want a better life for my family and for my children, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of millions of lives in my homeland. We're given the idea that if we didn't have these people to exploit, that America wouldn't be rich enough to let us have these little petty material things in our lives and basic standards of living. No, that's wrong. It's the business giants and the government officials who make all the real money. We have whatever they kick down to us. My enemy is not the average white man. It's not the kid down the block or the kids I see on the street. My enemy is the white man I don't see. The people in the White House, the corporate monopoly owners, fake liberal politicians, those are my enemies. The generals of the armies that are mostly conservative. Those are the real motherfuckers that I need to bring it to. Not the poor, broke, country-ass soldier that's too stupid to know shit about the way things are set up. In fact, I have more in common with most working and middle-class white people than I do with most rich black and Latino people. As much as racism bleeds America, we need to understand that classism is the real issue. Many of us are in the same boat, and it's sinking, while these bougie motherfuckers ride on the luxury liner. And as long as we keep fighting over kicking people out of the little boat we're all in, we're gonna miss an opportunity to gain a better standard of living as a whole. In other words, I don't want to escape the plantation. I wanna come back, free all my people, hang the motherfucker that kept me there, and burn the house to the goddamn ground. I wanna take over the encomienda and give it back to the people who work the land. You cannot change the past, but you can make the future. And anyone who tells you different is a fucking lethargic devil. I don't look at a few token Latinos and black people in the public eye as some type of achievement for my people as a whole. Most of those successful individuals are just sellouts and house Negroes. But I don't consider brothers a sellout if they move out of the ghetto. Poverty has nothing to do with our people. It's not in our culture to be poor. That's only been the last 500 years of our history. Look at the last 2,000 years of our existence and what we brought to the world in terms of science, mathematics, agriculture, and forms of government. You know, the idea of a confederation of provinces where one federal government controls the states? The Europeans who came to this country stole that idea from the Iroquois League. The idea of impeaching a ruler comes from an Aztec tradition. That's why Montezuma was stoned to death by his own people, because he represented the agenda of white Spaniards once he was captured, not the Aztec people who would become Mexicans. So in conclusion, I'm not gonna vote for anybody just because they black or Latino. They have to truly represent the community and represent what's good for all of us proletariat. Porque si no, entonces te mando pa'l carajo, cabrón, gusano, hijo de puta. Seramos libres pronto. ¡Viva la revolución! ¡Viva la revolución!
We all got secrets, yeah. Panda City, yeah. Tell your truths, huh? Was running high. Who am I when I close my eyes? Step away from the woes and lies. You're a witness in my demise. I'm not surprised if you're surprised. I got secrets I can't even tell my niggas. Whole truth, they might not be my niggas. I can show you, but you won't like this picture. You won't like this picture. Cause niggas judge a lot. You should judge me not. I was juggling lies, now I'm a juggernaut. Man, I found myself trying to place the blame. Cause we all got evil, but they not the same. I need confidence in my defense. I've been stressing super tense a lot lately. Beat myself up a lot lately. Ask myself, how can you not hate me? Yeah. Tell nobody, no, I can't tell nobody. No, I can't tell nobody. No, I got secrets, I can't tell nobody. No, I can't tell nobody. No, I can't tell nobody. No, I got secrets, Ready or not, I'ma tell you about these thoughts I get. I'ma tell you about these thoughts I got. I got jumped from the jump, I just wanted them shot. I was hot, but I'm shot, cause I'm better than that. Used to preach real peace, now I'm looking for peace. Talking to the streets, I ain't talking to my niece. Sheesh, I can't be myself. All these lies, can't believe myself. But my story's told, truth be told, truth is cold. You should know I'm good-hearted. Don't believe me, I'm deceiving. This ain't easy, so freezing, I'm cold-hearted. Elsa, you know what Elsa? It gets under your skin like ulcers. When there's nobody there, I've been screaming, but nobody here. Yeah. I can't tell nobody. No, I can't tell nobody. No, I can't tell nobody. No, I got secrets, I can't tell nobody. No, I can't tell nobody. No, I can't tell nobody. No, I got secrets,
friend or any other? Is it your husband or your father or your Tell them, change their views or change their friends. Now is the time for your friendship to end. You know a racist who thinks he is your friend. Now is the time for your friendship to end. Call yourself my friend. Now is the time to make up your mind. Don't try to pretend. Be it your sister, be it your brother, be it your cousin or your uncle or your lover.
So if you are a racist, our friendship has got to end.
And if your friends are racists, don't pretend to be my friend. So if you have a racist friend, now is the time for our friendship to end. Bye.
Special AKA, Racist Friend. Before that, Panda City, our friend Clack with Secrets. And we started that set off with a special one for Katie, The Poverty of Philosophy by Immortal Technique. So do you have any racist friends left?
No.
Did you get rid of them all?
Oh, yeah.
We were going to talk about this a little bit. I didn't want